Welcome back to Seduce Me with Jackie and Isabel. And, yeah, cool. Eric... Indeed. Quite.
Correct.
Indubitably.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Anyway, Eric was just being annoying and like, I'm at fault for people trying to hurt you. Like, no, Eric, you're not. You didn't do anything. I mean, except for murder that one guy, but, like, that wasn't, like, you know, towards Buttercup, so, you know, whatever. I mean...
Yeah. However, I was curious.
About what?
His penis.
He doesn't have one. Speaking of which, how do they do it? None of them have genitalia. She did
this when is what I was talking about when before.
They were right when they were making out. She did not mention a boner.
Does that typically happen
during? Yes.
Well, I wouldn't know. So
I guess you are in a long distance relationship. Okay. So, Eric, you're a noble without a penis?
Eric chuckled before he stared at the hand he was caressing with a soft smile.
Yes.
Yes, I'm a noble. My brothers and I are nobles. Well, I guess I should say were now. Shouldn't I?
Yes, you should.
Quote.
Were?
Oh! The demon prince when we lived in the abyssal plains. The others and I were simply nobles living in the castle, simply because of our bloodline.
But, I mean, you were all sons of the king.
Should James fail or die, we were the replacements. Well, we didn't want to live like
as
that,
per
as
usual.
Simply replacements over our brother. So we all wanted to leave and be an actual family.
Aw, cuties. What was it like while you were there? Pretty shitty, I imagine?
Well, to put it simply... it was boring. James was constantly being trained while the rest of us had to constantly entertain ourselves without disturbing him. I, however, was also being trained under the guidance of my mother.
Yes.
Okay. So. Still, like... So they were there to be replacements for James if anything happened to James, right?
Right.
So you would think that they would at least try to give them a little bit of training, so just in case something happened to James towards the end of his training, that they can just...
Right. Well, okay, yeah, but it looks like Eric's mom was taking care of that. Teaching him how to play the harpsichord.
Okay, but I wouldn't call...
Well, I'm sure she was teaching him other stuff. We just don't know. Okay. There are so many gaps in our knowledge.
Okay.
We can't make assumptions.
Okay.
Your mother? I didn't know demons had mothers.
Yes, she was a lovely...
She was a giant octopus woman.
That's why Eric is a tentacle monster.
Exactly.
I never knew what she looked like. What?
That made no sense. That does make no sense. How could he not know what his own mother looked like? Eric, as if he read my mind, smiled and chuckled at the confusion on my face.
Our father had multiple wives. James, myself, Sam, and Matthew came from these very women. But tensions grew high when Damien was born outside our father's marriages.
Damien's an illegitimate child. I see.
In order to quell the tension, our father had a powerful demon mage turn our mothers into simple, floating spirits. They lived, but they could not have physical form.
Aw, that's sad.
Why?
I guess because, like, they were all mad about him, like, having a bunch of other ladies.
But why? He still has other women by having multiple wives.
Well, I guess maybe they were already mad about that, and then, like, another one...
Okay, but if you were already mad about that...
Well, dude, just the straw that broke the camel's back, right? And then that was... They just, like...
I suppose,
it was
but
all
if
pent up, and then they just released it, and then he was like, hey, you need to shut up, and bam, you're now a spirit.
Okay, but I find it Like, I understand that bringing women into a king and them not being happy is probably a common thing. In a sense, of course. But I would find it realistic that if they were truly that miserable and they got angry when he had relations with women outside of his marriages, that if they were truly that unhappy, that they would probably kill themselves.
Whoa, that's like
happen.
super drastic. I mean, I took it as more that they were angry than like depressed about it. I'd be pissed. I would definitely not kill myself over it. Anyway, that's horrible, right, Buttercup?
It is, but which is better? A house where the sons of the Demon Lord could have their birth mothers, or watching these very women claw at each other's throats out of jealousy, leaving the sons with no true parental guidance?
Well, ideally, a functional family would be better. But since that's not an option, apparently.
Our father didn't have time for anyone but James.
Aww.
So the rest of us needed someone to make sure we didn't grow up to be incompetent.
Eric had a point. It was horrid, but it was a logical point. I bit my lip and nodded understanding. Eric gently brought my hand up to kiss my knuckles.
Would you like to see what I mean instead?
Are we gonna do the mind melt thing again? I just fainted from that, Eric. Seriously?
I stared, trying to understand what he meant. However, as the memory of when he showed me the demon palace replayed in my mind, I nodded, let my curiosity guide me. Eric smiled before simply holding out one hand to me and letting a small breath rush against his palm. Instantly, the flower Eric had given me appeared in his hand, making him smirk and making me blush.
You kept it. Good.
Which, I mean, of course. Why would you get rid of it?
It's a perishable flower.
Yeah, but you would keep it.
True. Well, I guess you can press flowers.
And let them dry.
Mm-hmm. Eric wrapped his fingers gingerly around the stem, giving it the magic it had before. Magic it had been given before, and casting an aura-like mirror before me. I peered in to see the castle main hall once again. The memory of being in that hall, albeit by magic, sent a small shiver down my spine.
Something mischiefy, blah 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 blah. Some mischief is gonna happen. That's what this song tells me.
I watched, however, as a very familiar demon walked arm in arm with a woman with cat ears and a tail down the walkway.
Oh.
Chiffy, my sweet kitten, you truly astound me. Whatever shall I do with you?
Okay.
She looks like a 12-year-old weeb cosplay.
Okay, kind of, yeah.
Stop it, you're making me blush.
But what if I want to make you blush? You're so much cuter when you blush.
Is this really what you meant to show us, Eric? Because this doesn't seem like the kind of thing you show your, like, new girlfriend.
Yeah.
Stop.
Stop it, Eric. You're so silly.
I felt my eye twitch in irritation. Why was Eric showing me this? Was he wanting to spite me? I didn't want to see him flirt with demon girls. I already had some trouble with him flirting with me.
You sly incubus, you. I'll get in trouble for sure if I'm caught with you.
Then shouldn't we make the risk worthwhile?
Okay.
Eric held the cat girl close to his body, looking about ready to kiss her. The girl, however, mewed and pulled away. Yeah. Look at that. Embarrassed
incubus so bad. I should go.
This is weird.
Ah, very well, you meet. Until we meet again.
This is the weirdest thing.
The cat girl giggled before rushing out of the main hall, but not before Eric lowered his hand underneath her tail as she turned and let it slide.
Okay. He's grabbing her tail. I was like, whoa, okay.
And let it slide across his fingers as she ran off, making the cat girl jump in surprise. The girl playfully glared at Eric, who only pouted innocent lips in return before she exited.
What do innocent lips look like? I can't, I don't know. This is weird as sweet virginal sexual energy.
However, as the girl left the room, Eric's face went from flirtatious to almost Damien cold. Eric let out a sigh, gently rubbing his hands to rid them of the fur that had caught on them, and rolled his shoulders.
Well, Mother, was that enough to please you?
Oh.
I stared shocked at the personality change. What the heck happened to Eric? He was flirty, charming, and almost disgustingly complimentary. But the Eric I was seeing in the mirror wasn't him at all. A small red orb, surrounded with a veil of purple mist, entered the space, making my mind go blank. It approached Eric, glowing as it spoke.
Very well done, dear. Much better than I expected of you.
Thank you. You taught me well.
That I did. You must never forget, however, to always listen to your women. Serving them is your #1 priority. Should they be uncomfortable, you must step back and be as submissive as possible.
Yes, Mother.
Okay. I kind of feel like she's like mad about the demon lord, and so she's like training Eric to be different from that. But I mean,
That makes sense.
equality, right? Like,
True.
a little bit weird.
Good. Now, continue with that cat girl. Once she gives you her energy, then you can toss her back out. You don't need any pets hanging around when you find another girl.
As you wish, Mother.
Aww.
But some things never change. I stared in utter shock. The orb vanished, but Eric remained in the hall, letting out a sigh. He had a look of displeasure on his face. He looked tired as well, but something seemed off. He looked like he has a lot on his mind, but his closed mouth wouldn't let him speak them. He was submissive to his guidance. I turned away from the mirror to look at Eric beside me, who had a look of both sadness and guilt. It was like a puppy admitting to chewing my favorite shoe, or a child stealing a cookie from a cookie jar. Eric stopped the magic, willing the mirror out of his existence and letting it fade away in the air, before he looked to me.
She taught me well. At least what she could teach me anyway. That visage became habit, and now it's a natural persona to me. She taught me to always serve and make the women I met happy. She always said that was the true incubus way.
Interesting theory.
The true incubus way?
It makes sense, no? If I can please and serve any women I meet, then I can surely convince them to fully give their energy to me.
You mean sex? Is that what you mean?
Yep.
You can get into anybody's pants?
Mm-hmm. I began to see the mask Eric was wearing. He wasn't putting on airs because he was overly complimentary. He was complimentary in order to gain trust and respect. So, with that logic, once you have, like, sex as an incubus with somebody,
Okay.
and you take their energy, right?
Okay.
and they're implying that, like, you throw them away because they're unneeded anymore. Does that mean that you can't draw energy from them again?
I don't think so. I think that his mother just, like, I think they were using her as practice, is what I got from that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That is smart.
Well, it's very manipulative.
It is. However, I know what you're thinking, Princess. I don't blame you for thinking what you are thinking of right now.
That you tricked me into loving you.
Just Buttercup's thinking about sex.
Then what am I
Sex.
thinking of right now?
Sex.
Who am I exactly?
No,
Oh.
she's not.
If I am truly not as
Sex.
flirtatious as I act, then what do I act like? And will you be the next victim? I can assure you, Princess, that I am no danger to you.
Okay.
How can I be so sure?
Because, Princess, I don't deserve your trust or energy.
Okay, but, like,
That doesn't really...
if you don't trust your boyfriend, you probably shouldn't be dating him.
I mean, I guess trust comes with time, but I'm pretty sure Buttercup trusts Eric, and I'm pretty sure he deserves her trust. He hasn't done anything to not deserve it.
True.
I mean, except for, like, what we just learned, but I don't know. Like, yeah, whatever, anyway.
I stared, my mind going blank. What did he mean? Eric lifted my hand again and gently caressed it, staring down at it.
You've done so much for me and my brothers, sheltering us, letting us continue to live here. It may not seem like much, but to a family of brothers without anywhere to go, it means everything.
Aww. So, I think with Eric's heartfelt confession of his family love for everything and his brothers and for Buttercup and everything,
Yeah, all that business.
this is where we should end the episode. So, this has been another episode of Seduce Me with Jackie and Isabel, and we'll catch you next time.